Hello, y'all. This is Jenna. If you guys can hear me, please let me know by hitting the hearts. If you guys can hear me, please let me know by hitting the hearts. Today, we're going to talk about how to improve your mood. Okay? How to improve your mood. And basically to let you know that what we eat and the activities we do per day affects our mood. Okay, so as you're coming in, please let me know if you can hear me by hitting the hearts. Okay, and so I am a holistic practitioner. I would say just maybe I'm going to say holistic coach. Okay, holistic coach. Okay, and I'm going to put my site up soon. I'm going to let my husband do that in a minute. I'm going to let some people come on in. Please share the video. Please share the video. And I hope all is well with everyone who is listening to this video or watching. I hope all is well with you. And if it's not, I hope that it gets better for you. All right? So, how do you know if you have a mood issue? I always talk from a personal space. Guys, hold on one second, okay? I do apologize about that. I usually don't like that, but thank you for holding. Thank you so much for holding. I'm about to put up. Okay. So how do you know if you have a mood issue? First and foremost, if you don't have energy, who in here has problems with energy? Just say me. Okay? If you are not having enough daily energy, it will definitely affect your mood. And what is the first thing we do when we don't have enough energy? First and foremost, we go to sugar, right? I see you, Miss Wanda. Hello. As you guys coming in, please say hello. Let me know that you're here. Okay, but yeah, isn't that the first thing we do when we don't have energy? We go to sugar. Well, sugar is a huge endocrine disruptor. Endocrine, I would consider like hormonal and things like that. It affects your kidneys, it affects your liver, it affects your heart. So anything that affects your heart, liver, and kidneys, you want to stay away from as much as possible, especially processed sugar. Case in point, after you take something that is sweet, whether it's coffee, whether it's juice, whether it's a soda, or anything like that, don't you feel kind of on edge? And so some people, we walk around with that type of feeling all day. Well, after a while, if you're always hyper, if you're always working on high paced, you're going to basically conk out or burn out. You guys agree or disagree with that? And so one thing I have developed a lifestyle, a program, or whatever that will help you guys to relax but yet still have energy. Like myself, I'm not a person who lives on sugar because I know that sugar is very harmful. So I have a natural way of having sugar in my system. You kind of have to know your body. You know, I always suggest that if you have any kind of energy issue or any kind of wellness concern, to start writing down your daily things that you do. Write down what you've eaten. Write down if you've had any kind of physical activity. Write down things that, you know, especially with you eating, if you don't feel well afterwards, write that down. Why? Because you can actually take that to your physician or your holistic practitioner, and that person can possibly help you or adjust whatever they're giving you for you to start functioning well. And that's what I do. If you're looking for someone to help you on your wellness journey, please get in contact with me. Because first and foremost, guys, I'm on my own holistic journey. I'm down about 10 plus pounds. I weigh myself every day, and I see that my body is getting what it needs now. Why? Because I'm doing a plant-based regimen or very low meat. as you, if you will call it that. But that's what I'm doing. And the first few days is rough, but I've been doing it for a few weeks now and I feel awesome. Okay. And so that works great for me. Why? Because I'm not putting all of that crazy stuff in my system. The meat just backs you up. That's a huge mood, let's see, disruptor. Mood disruptor is when you have too much meat. Case in point, it's equivalent to you putting the wrong fuel in your tank of your car. You know, if you put sugar in your tank as far as your car, what would happen? It will break down. Maybe we should learn from our car. If you put sugar in the tank, back in the day, that's what they used to do. Anyway, I'm getting the signal over here. Okay, guys, make sure you share this video. Share. If you have any questions, go ahead and type it up. Go ahead and type it up, okay? Yes, so don't go to sugar. What I do, and I've developed a program, guys. You have to join the group, join the community of my holistic counselor. And thank you so much for all of the members. Now, I'm noticing, and I love this, and I have to give credit. Guys, some people actually join. I think because you guys are actually supporting, and I love that. But I would love for you to actually use the program as well. As a person who's in business, I want to know the difference between a donation and someone who actually wants to service. Even though I love that you guys actually join and you're like, hey, I'm just loving the cause and I'm going to support. I do appreciate that. But please, I would love people to join and actually use it as well. Because I get better. I get better with every person that I help out. You know, I practice on myself, I practice on my family, but I would love to, and you know, I do have a few clients that use it as well, don't get me wrong, but I have a lot of people who join just to support, and I love that, and I'm thankful for that as well, all right? With that being said, let's talk about your water intake, okay? Who in here is having problems with their skin? Anybody? Anybody? Yes. I'm looking at my skin now and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of seeing that it's clear. I'm not saying it had problems, but you can always, when you stop eating meat, everything starts to clear up, including your brain. If you're going through brain fog, if you're going through anger management problems, meaning everything gets on your nerves, just understand that anger in and of itself builds up in the system and it helps your body to not function well. I learned this, that's specific, that anger and animosity helps the kidneys to not function well. Your kidneys help filter your blood. You know, people who are on dialysis, their kidneys do not function at all, and they need to go every other day or whatever to dialysis to clean themselves. You know what I mean? Clean their bloodstream. And if you are going around angry all the time, there is totally a disconnect going on. I have to say that. Why? Because I used to always have anger issues, especially in my 20s. I was an anger girl. You know, I was angry. I didn't know how to control my emotions. But if I go back to that time, guys, I also was not eating the best. I wasn't eating the best. I was eating fast food. I was eating meat. I was eating processed foods. I was eating lots of sugar and things like that. And so rightfully so, my mood was like I was about to fight everybody. Not physically, because I'm a lover, not a fighter. But this mouth of mine can make you feel like you just got knocked out, like Will Smith knocked out Chris Brown. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys have any questions? Any questions or concerns? But yeah, that's the thing. Like, once my diet, and I know it wasn't Chris Brown, y'all, it's Chris Rock. Let me correct that, right? They'd be like, girl, you got the wrong Chris. Something wrong with you? No, nothing's wrong. Okay. So once I started to clean up my diet, first thing I did, guys, is guess what I did? I cut out sugar. Once I cut out sugar, my anger management just not, you know, you don't have to necessarily get anger management therapy. Even though, because I am in the holistic field, I do support getting help. You know what I mean? Yes, because that's what I do. I also help people with their mental issues. I mean, by default, if you are helping people with getting herbs in their body and changing their diet and just basically recalibrating their whole lifestyle, of course you're helping them with their mental clarity. Case in point, if you are eating nothing but I see you. She said, girl, I love you. Love you too. I love everyone. God requires that in us. We have to love one another. Hello. Yes. Wasn't like that when I was younger, though. I didn't love nobody. At least it seemed that way, right?
Oh yeah, we went through some
Yeah.
times.
So I can really help you out. Okay, I understand. Case in point, if you're eating nothing but salmon, even though I'm not eating that much salmon anymore, guys. Try getting salmon. Where I'm at now, it's tough. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay no $40 for salmon. I'm just not going to do it. So, we making do. But anyway, look, this is my holistic counselor. You guys gotta support, so your girl can get some salmon. But no, I'm playing around with you guys. But yeah, if you are, eating salmon, you're eating potato, fresh potato, you're eating, spinach and kale, and I'm just I'm on my Becky bounce. I went to an all-girls school. You know what I mean? I went to an all-girls school, and there was a lot of Beckys there. Shout out to all. In fact, those were my friends. They were my girls. I remember one time I had gotten in a discussion with my little friend, and she said, well, why do you guys have February as just being your month? And I said, because you guys have the rest of the year. I don't know why I said that. I don't even know why we remain friends, but I don't know. I was her little friend that, if she took me home to her parents probably wouldn't have been happy. It was one of those friends. But anyway, I get it. But I grew around that type of energy. I mean, certain communities are just naturally taught to eat better. I talked to another Becky, I had to say that, and she came up to me and she said, I'm, vegetarian, I'm vegan, and I only eat fish once a month for the acid. I was like, oh, okay. But 30 years later, I actually understood what the heck she was talking about. I think her name was Ashley, okay? And I understand where she was coming from, where she said she eats the fish once a month. And she was a tiny girl, and they were all tiny. I mean, I was naturally just bigger than everybody, and I just felt uncomfortable at that school sometimes. But they loved me. I guess I looked like big protector to them. And I would just see how they ate versus the people who look like me ate. We ate fried chicken, and I had another Becky friend, and she ate like what I ate, and she was my size and had the same problems as me. Okay, so it's not just a community thing. It's just how we were raised, and the food pretty much does the same thing to everybody. And they usually eat, the Beckys, they usually eat the salads, and they eat the fish, and they're very meticulous on what they eat. They pull away from the table. They want to make sure their waist is still snatched before all of this other stuff that we are going through today. People did it strictly through their diet. So you want to kind of look or eat how you want to look, kind of, sort of. And so if the person who eats more vegetables and a person who is more conscious about what they place in their body, their mind is going to be better. Their mood is going to be better. They're full of energy. People who are eating less meat and eating healthier, they're full of energy naturally. Off the rockers. Like, sometimes they threw me off, because after my lunch, which my particular lunch I remember in high school was, I would eat ravioli, or what was it called? God, what was it called? Chef Boyardee products. Because I went to a Catholic school. They didn't have the hot lunch. They had a vending machine with all of these nice little lunches inside. And I would have Cheetos. That's what I would have every day, because my grandparents gave me $3.50 in quarters every day, and that was my lunch. And I don't even remember what I drank. It might have been a juice or something. And my cycles at the time were horrendous. My weight, I mean, I could run. Thank God they had gym. My school really did teach us how to have value for physical education. Thank God I did that. Thank God I was in school with some Beckys because they taught me that being physical is how you maintain a good lifestyle. Uh, Back then, we didn't have a lot of weaves. We all wore our own hair. Ooh, I sound old, don't I?
Times have
There was
changed,
no
man.
alopecia back then amongst teenagers. We all wore our own hair. Yeah, we got relaxer and all of that, but it was fun times, guys. And sometimes we just have to go back to where we came from. If you grew up in the time of where I grew up, please expose your children to good food and knowledge. Things are changing and things like that. But yeah, that's my little story about where I came from and why I am who I am today, because I was exposed to different things. My husband and I, we were talking about struggle food. What is struggle food, guys? Name some struggle foods out there. While I share this video, I'm gonna go ahead and share my video, guys. Share, 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 share. Because you guys aren't sharing jack. You guys are just sitting there listening to me because I have a lot to say, but I do need to get the content out there. And then I'm going to go and read some comments that you guys are leaving for me. And then I'm going to go and read some comments. Okay, let me share to my groups. Let's see. Okay, so I just shared to some of my groups, and we'll see if that helps it out. How to get bright eye. Miss Thelma, are you still here? Because if you're not here, I'm not going to answer that. What's a good way to detox your body? Oh, Miss Thelma, you have 2 questions. You didn't give any kind of stars. More than likely, it'll be better for you to go ahead and go to my link tree there, or it's not a link tree, my site right there, and get you a membership so you can talk, because it looks like you have some great questions, but I want to answer them correctly. So sometimes you got to invest in yourself and really get that, because it looks like you really do have some concerns that I would love to work with you with. Okay, so what are some struggle foods? Some people say noodles. I'm going to say hot dogs, beans. Now that the jury's out on that, is that considered struggle food? I guess it is. What else, guys? Yeah, processed meats, even some, fast food and things like that. And so my husband said, struggle. What did you say, babe? What did you say?
Oh, I
About
said,
struggle food? Oh, we were talking about Hamburger Helper. And I have never. I guess the closest I've had to Hamburger Helper would be Chef Boyardee. Growing up, but I didn't get that at my house. I actually, went to school to eat that. My grandparents would never eat that. But not saying it's anything wrong with it, but you don't consider that a struggle food?
No, I never considered it struggle food. I've had, quite a different foods that now that I'm older, I'm a little wiser, and I realize that some people would consider those foods that. But when I was growing up, I didn't think of it. It was just what we ate.
Okay, so struggle is a part of, nowadays people would say, what, if you're eating, that is a blessing. And that's true. And then there's levels to eating. Okay. What is the best sugar substitute? Belong to your group? Yeah, well,
Oh.
I couldn't even answer that. If you do belong to the group,
Oh,
you can.
message us.
I'm sorry?
Tell her to message us.
Yeah, message me in the group. Yeah, I couldn't give that out here.
Oh, yeah, I recognize it. Yeah, message us.
Yeah, please message. Please. And look, members, I love you guys dearly, but please don't come in the lives and ask questions, because you guys have paid. And how is it fair for me to give free content to something that you've paid for? You wouldn't value it anymore. I am an old chick from way back, okay? And I know the difference. So I want you guys to know that when I'm on here, I'm at work. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, I'm a fisher woman. I'm a fisher woman. Hello. And I'm fishing for people who would love my services in here. So if you're a person who has paid, you have the Cadillac of the situation, you guys. This is totally different in this space versus the space that you've paid for. I don't understand that because I'm not on that side. I understand you guys like, oh, I have you here, you're live, and I love that, but I would never give anything free that you guys have paid for. I just wouldn't do that. And I don't think you would appreciate that. You wouldn't see the value in what I give in the group. Okay, guys? And that's not to you, Miss Deborah. That's to anybody because I get that all of the time. And I don't, confusion is where the devil lies. So I want y'all to understand right now I'm at work. And when I'm in the group, I'm for you guys. And so let's keep it separate. All right? All right. So what was we saying? What was it saying, baby?
Oh, we were talking about struggle food.
Okay, so eventually with struggle food, now, of course, when you're in the position where you're like, I just need food, you can still be in a mindset to say, I'm not going to eat X, Y, and Z anymore. We've all been there. Like hot dogs used to be my go-to when I was younger and I didn't have a lot of money or a lot of access to good food or information about it. Because that's really what it's about. But I vowed to myself and my family that we wouldn't eat hot dogs anymore, and it happened. And we just never ate them anymore because I was always reading the labels. Now, case in point, let me go back to high school back in 1996, okay? I ate that food every day. Thank you for the stars, guys. I saw that. Thank you. I ate the Boyardee every day, and I also cried all the time. Let me tell you guys a story. Now, her name is Jessica, okay? She looked like me, just in skin tone. She was like, I was much bigger than her. And sometimes they're on my videos, and I remember this. She said something to me that I didn't like. I couldn't tell you what it was because that was like 20 years ago, maybe more. Mm-hmm. And but it was something she said, and guess what? It was at the lunch table. Okay? So I can only assume that my reaction is because of that Chef Boyardee, okay? She said something, I started crying, and I banged on the table. And she was like, oh my gosh, it was the same reaction Chris Rock had when Will Smith hit him. Everybody in the room was like, what the heck is going on? Because I was a person who was reserved. Be careful with the people who are reserved and who can take a lot. Because eventually, just like anything, once it fills up, everybody in the room is going to get it. Now, let's just hope it's not anything negative. And that's why, now I'm a firm believer of as things happen, like I just handled the situation right there with the lady. That's just how I deal with things as they come. I told my husband, I said, I am not able to just hold in everything and play poker or poker, whatever it's called. Because one day you're going to say boo to me and then I'm just going to go off. And that's what happened that day. But I had the Cheetos. If I looked on a bag of Cheetos now, I'm sure Cheetos back then were probably much better. Now everything is much saltier and worse. But it probably didn't have MSG in it back then. It probably has it now. Ingredients have changed over the years. And I spent like weeks apologizing to her. I had another situation where a lady, she called me. At the time, she was pregnant. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of stories. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just letting you know, like the progression of how I have, changed over the years, and because of my diet. And she was pregnant at the time, and she called me, and she said something to me. Now this I'm not going to say because I know exactly what she said, but I'm not going to say it. And I said, "Excuse me." Anyway, I let her have it. I said I was supposed to be the girls, the baby's godmother. I said, how about this? Don't call me no more. I'm not going to be the godparent no more. This, and this. I said it out of anger. Homegirl took me serious. And we ain't never talked anymore. This was back in 2006. And I looked at my husband. I said, oh my gosh. I was angry, but I didn't mean it. It just happened. So my point is, during that time, my diet was not the way that it is now. And so I blame the fact that the reason why we are going around with all of these different type of moods is because you're not aware of what you're eating. You look at a person who has an addiction problem to illegal substances, which that runs in my family as well. I was just talking to my cousin, and his dad, is stuck on him, and I know why a lot of us feel like we're better than them. It's because what we're doing is legal. But a food is drugs, right? Food is mood altering. If you sat there and you had a big lunch meat sandwich, within 15, 20 minutes, you're going to have a migraine. You're going to feel dry. You're going to feel irritated. Everything in the room is going to become bright. And you're going to be irritated. And if somebody walks up to you wrong, you're going to go off on them. Versus if you had more watery food, if you had some spinach and arugula. Never had arugula. But it's just someone to say it. It's a cool word. Spinach, arugula, kale, a sprinkle of some darn pistachios or pumpkin seeds, and maybe a little bit of olive oil and a splash of lemon. Do you think you're going to even have that negative energy? Of course not. Now, I'm not saying that vegans don't commit crimes. Well, you know what? We could do a study on that, couldn't we?
We could. Uh-huh.
I'm a person like this. When people do, because I'm a crime girl, I have a whole crime group called True Crime, When Love Turns Fatal. I also have another group, relationship group called Real About Relationships. Well, it's not called that. It's called Relationships and Hot Topics now. Okay, so look it up on Facebook, guys. We're 400,000 in on that relationship group. I need to start talking about relationships because that group is like that. And half the people in there can't stand me because I'm real, But they can't stand me, but they come back. They love the group, but they just don't like the way I put everything on Front Street in that group, guys. Make sure you go and subscribe to that group, guys. It's awesome. But yeah, when you eat better, you think better, you feel better. If you're having the struggle food mentality of, oh, you know what? It's cheaper for me to go ahead and get this salty food, processed food. You're going to pay later. Somebody type this up. If you don't pay now, you're going to pay later. You're going to pay later if you feel like you're saving money on getting Hamburger Helper, which is nothing wrong with Hamburger Helper if that's what you want. I'm a firm believer that anything that is negative, you can always spruce it up to make it a little more positive. You can put vegetables with it and all of that. Back in the day when I would do lunch meat, I would boil the lunch meat because the salt was just too much. But then once you boil it, you have to put a little more seasoning in it. And then eventually you just don't want the crap. You just get to the point where you just don't want to put crap in your body. And when you get to my age, which I think is a prime age, what you guys think? 40? When you're in your 40s, guys, you're kind of like, you should be, like kind of like this, balancing out. All that crap that we did in our 20s and 30s aren't hot anymore. And we have to kind of learn to put better things in our body. Mentally, physically. Miss April, I'm not going to say it anymore, dear, because it looks like she said, what is the relationship group called? This group that no one likes you in? Oh, it's called, because I just changed it. It's called, oh Lord, don't tell me. Relationships and Hot Topics. It has 400,000, okay? So, because I don't know if people be biting and stuff. Yeah, they be watching me and biting me. Anyway. But this one with 400,000 in it, okay? They can't bite that. Ain't that right, Biggie? No, they can't bite that. It is what it is. Yeah. And the thing about it is, when you bite off somebody, just know that, it's not you. It's not you. You can try to copy somebody, but you can't replicate them. Hello?
Exactly.
Did y'all get that? You can copy all people, but you can't replicate them. Okay. But yeah, start eating better and your mood will change. Your whole body dynamic will change. Okay? It is what it is. It's the truth. I stand by it. Now, depending on who you are and what your profession is and what your age is and what type of situations you're in, that's the type of diet that you would need. One diet does not fill, was it? One diet doesn't fit all. My diet is different. I think somebody had asked a question in here. My husband can go through the comments, and because when
Okay.
I get on my grind grizzy, honey, I can't read the little bit of comments I do get. I don't get
Okay,
many.
okay, okay. All right. What is the relationship group called? I think you asked that.
Yeah.
Answer that one. Okay. What do you eat after your workout?
Oh, okay. Who asked that?
Miss Yang?
Well, it depends on who you are. It's not about what you eat after, it's what you eat before. You don't, one thing you don't want to do, guys, I'm going to tell you this. When you work out, before you work out, you don't want to eat anything heavy. After you work out, you don't want to eat anything happy. Heavy.
Heavy.
Okay? So usually what I do is fruit. You can never go wrong with fruit and low glycemic fruit. So I do apples, and that's just my go-to fruit. Apples, pears are nice. I don't know if they're low glycemic, but they're good. And I do fresh. I don't do the fruit cups and things like that. You want to do things with fiber, and then fiber helps you to drink more water and just hydrate. I hope you're not smoking. I actually see someone who calls herself fit, but she smokes. Like, really, all you're doing is, when you're, understand, you know what, I'm going to turn this video off because you guys are being silent, and I'm going to come back. I think that's an excellent question on how to work out. And the thing about it is, I know a lot about that, and I'm not thin. I probably will never be thin. And fitness is not about being thin. It's about feeling great and things like that. That's what it's really about. And of course, you're going to lose weight as a side effect just by living the lifestyle in which I see fits for people who want to do better. You know what I mean? But yeah, eating is, I mean, if you're smoking, if you're drinking, if you're doing negative stuff, why are you exercising? I'm going to tell you guys, this is what happens. When you're smoking and then you say, let me go to the gym, all you're doing is you're coursing all of those carcinogens through your body, and you're actually going to annihilate yourself quicker. Before you start any type of holistic regimen, like if you smoke, I'm gonna need you not to do no herbal teas, because herbal teas is like the engine for the body. Anything herbal is going to turn on your engine and help you to heal. But if you turn on your engine and it's full of carcinogens, smoking, drinking, and whatever else you guys are doing out there, it's going to make your body worse. So don't do it. If you're going to live your life like that, live your life like that. But once you're going to become a holistic person, mind, body, and spirit, then do holistic stuff. It doesn't mix. Okay, that's why holistic lifestyle works for some, but it doesn't work for everyone, because there's something you're disconnected. If you're having cheat days, like you're eating clean all the time, and then one day you go and you get some cheese fries from Taco Bell, you literally you just basically wasted your time. Like all of that stuff that you did just a few days before, when you ate that fast food, it took all of that away, because that fast food is going to wear on you for weeks. That one meal is going to take you weeks to get that off. I don't believe in cheat days. Holistic life is a marriage. Can you cheat during your marriage? Okay, we all know what that's going on with Will and Jada. They had a darn open relationship, and now Will is smacking people on camera and crying every 5 minutes because he's all up in his feelings. There is no such thing as a woman being able to step out on her husband and her man gonna be all right with it. And so what I'm saying is, there's no way that you can be holistic and try to be healthy, and then you step out on that one day a week and your body's going to be all right with it. It's just not going to, it doesn't work that way. You got to pick who you're going to serve. Are you going to serve being holistic, or are you going to serve being, I don't give a about my diet? And so that's why I don't do it. In fact, fast fast food is formulated for you to become addicted to it. Oh, do you really do think that fast food is still in business for nothing? You eat fast food one time, you're like, you know what? That one cheat day turns into a whole weekend. And then you feel so bad because all of those chemicals in there uh, makes our brains waves a little bit different. Like, try to cut it out. Like, anybody who eats fast food every day, cut that out for one day and see what happens. You're going to feel like a little child in the corner shivering because all of those chemicals are like, come on, what's going on? We need this. Oh, y'all didn't know that? That's why you're so addicted. That's why even if you had one lung today, you will still take and smoke something because of the addictions and the things that it's done to your body. That's why when we eat healthy, it's different too. You know, we have a different fire off at that point. We fire different. And if you stop, then your body will start to fiend for that too, but in a good way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, I know the difference from eating bad. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had fast food like McDonald's or anything like that since 2006. I mean, it's not too many people who can say that, you know, like fast food, fast food. Now, I used to, you know, order out from little mom and pop shops, but like the real deal fast food that fries are not real. Like, I mean, the fries aren't real, and I'm not lying. You guys can look that up. I mean, if I'm going to eat fries, I want them to be real, you know. It's levels to this, guys. It's levels, okay? I just have a different mindset, so I'm not getting down on anybody. I'm not, because I remember I tried to eat one of those biscuits, the sausage biscuit and all of that years ago. I think I did. I think I tried to eat that one time after not having it for years, and I got a migraine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my body, like, once you get all those chemicals out, oh, y'all don't know nothing about this, do y'all? This is a whole nother video on how you are addicted. You can't talk about someone who is addicted to illegal substances. You are addicted to legal substances every day when we eat. That's a whole nother video. Would you guys like that video? Would you guys watch that video? Would you feel good watching that video? If I actually explained to you how you are addicted to certain foods? Would you guys go ahead and say yes? I want to see a few people say yes. Facebook, can y'all allow my stories to go back into my stories? Like, can you allow my videos to be in my stories? Like, why did you guys take that away? I need my videos to be fed. I would love that. I don't know what happened, but can y'all guys bring that back? They be listening to me too. That's why I be saying that. I mean that with all due respect. I really do, because I feel like my videos should be in the stories. But it's not in the stories anymore. And it affects my views. So I do care about my views in a good way. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down that topic because I'm old school. I need to... Babe, can you pass me that book over there? We're going to talk about that, please.
Okay.
How you are a food... Can I say junkie?
Food junkie?
Yeah, can I say food junkie? Is that bad?
Like junk food?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we are really food junkies, y'all.
Food addicts?
Well, y'all are.
Food addicts?
Because I don't eat that mess no more. I don't want to go back. Okay, I lost like 3 friendships in my life because of the food I was eating. So if any of you guys are watching, the ones that I darn near just went ape on you, I do apologize. My diet sucked during that time.
It wasn't because of the food.
It was.
It was not. It was not.
So what the heck was it?
I bear witness. It was the situation.
Oh, yeah. But see, this is the thing, right? Yeah. That's like the Will and Jada thing. Okay? Because some people are saying Will was okay for doing that because he was picking up for his wife. I say, no. And then I saw the footage of actually how she just sat there. You know, I told my husband, I said, if my husband was trying to go on stage and do anything, first of all, I would stop him. Especially when he was, you know, cussing and all of that. I would have tried to calm him down. No, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people do to you. You still have to operate in a certain way.
Yeah, but you never slapped a dry.
Oh no, I can slap. cut people with words.
Oh,
My mouth, I mean, it says in the Bible that the tongue cuts like a knife.
okay.
Okay? So really the real G's out here are not the ones who have the physical weapons, but the ones who can really be lyrical with what they say. Because what you say to somebody will last forever. They may not remember exactly what they said, what you said, but they will remember how you make them feel, and that's what Maya Angelou said. But I said it today. It is what it is. It's true. I mean, how many things how many people in here have a bad taste in your mouth about somebody because of how they made you feel? And if you say, well, what happened? You really couldn't recall what happened, but you just know how you felt that day. Now, what my husband is saying, did they not deserve it? Heck yeah, they deserved it. You know what I'm saying? But who am I to say what somebody deserves? At the end of the day, that's why God has given us a brain. A lot of us are going around and we're not using it. But you can't use it if you're eating bad food. Right? I mean, it is what it is. Maybe you don't know that, and that's my job to kind of help you guys see that. Okay? But if your mind's too bad, you're not going to even eat good food. You're going to, the worst the mind that atrophies, gets weaker, you're going to start eating weak food. Like people are saying low vibrating food or low vibrating words and all of that. Yeah, okay. If I like to talk the lingo so you guys can kind of see or hear me, because what's the sense of me talking if you guys don't understand me? So if that's your language, then I'll say that. You don't want to eat low vibrating food. You don't want to be around low vibrating people. You don't want to watch low vibrating lives. You get what I'm saying? Don't get caught up on how many people watch me, because they kind of contain me, because this is really how it should have been anyway. Only a short amount of people can know this information at a time. Everybody don't need to know it. All right, so we're going to do food junkie, and I'm going to basically break down how the foods that we eat on a daily basis become a part of us being addicts. Okay? And this is all from Jenna. This is from my research. It's from my own lifestyle. It's how I take it and what I've seen in others, and me being a crime girl. I love crime. I do. And I feel like it's because of the brain content that I have. Everybody doesn't like crime, but I do. I like to learn from other people's situations. I don't want to go through it for me to learn about it. Like people who feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to stop eating what I'm eating unless, doctor said I'm fine. Well, I'm going to tell you guys about the doctor said you're fine, right? Their fine is different than our fine as being holistic. What do I mean by that, Biggie?
Oh, what?
Are you listening to me?
I am, man.
Even my own husband don't listen. It's time for me to cut this darn thing off.
You're saying that their fine is totally different than our fine. Like, what's the new blood pressure right now? The new average blood pressure?
The average blood pressure now is 140 over 85.
Right. And
that's pre-hypertension. Now, back in my day, it used to be 120 over 80.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't even like 120 over 80. My average is like around 110 over 65, 70. I don't like 60 though. Sometimes that means, Jenna, you're doing a little too much, so I gotta steer it back a little bit, and I'll get like 72 or something like that, Exactly, but when I was younger, my stuff would be 200 over 109. It was stroke level. Somebody said, "Do I want my man to take up for me?" Okay. First and foremost.
Oh, because you talked about that.
First and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
No and yes. Yes, first and foremost, I want a man who values himself. I'm not married to Superman. I'm not married to Batman. I'm not married to none of those darn characters that we love to watch on Marvel or DC. No. I'm married to somebody who is human just like I am. Now, one thing I would like him to do, if he is stand up, but verbally in a nice way. Because at the end of the day, I just heard Miss Lunell say it is a lot of men in the ground today because they stood up for their woman. And women, you're not supposed to... This is a whole nother video, sis. You guys try to get everything on it. That's another subject. It's a whole nother video. What is it? I don't want my man standing up for me. Stand up and get laid down. I'm from the Bronx. You can't be standing up for some of these chicks, fellas. They'll be over your body crying later, saying, "Oh my God, she stood up for me," while he lying down, looking at the darn roof of the church. Preacher telling the truth and it hurts. Okay, I don't know. I don't want I don't want my man standing up for me. The answer would be no. You want to know why I feel that way? Because I came up in an old school house. My grandmother was like, I can do whatever they can do. And one thing I do is if I'm offended and things like that, I stand up for my darn self. You know, it is what it is. It's plenty of times my husband and I, we went to a Cat Williams show one year. And we did get into an altercation. And back then, I wasn't eating right. I wasn't eating right. And I stood up for my darn self. And then my husband was right back there like, yeah.
No. That's not how it happened. No, that's not how it happened. You had to tell me you actually told me to calm down and we resolved things. Yeah, you actually told me to calm down.
You ain't had that moment though, when I was the lioness and I was in people's face and you was like, yeah,
there have been moments.
Yeah, I mean I do enough. My mouth is bad enough. It's not like that anymore because I had to learn. I had to learn, that there are some people out here who don't give a darn. They don't have nothing to lose. I always walk around and I feel like I have something to lose and things like that. So I'm an only child. I don't go around with a chip on my shoulder feeling like I gotta impress people. That's just not me. Not saying people who have siblings do that, but I feel like people with siblings do that. Okay, when you have to kind of fend for yourself, you're concentrating on yourself, and that's all you got, and so you're not gonna put yourself out there like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. Uh-huh.
And my husband's an only child too, and so we just two only children together. I don't even know how the heck that happened, but back in the day, I would get in females though. Women. I don't like calling women females. That's so derogatory. I would get into it with women if they say something to me, But I would slightly, lightly, and very politely do it. Like I was never a person who was going to sit there and pick on people because I'm bigger. Like when you're big, you kind of like you look what intimidating.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like the ones who are the real yips, and we call them yips, are the ones who are very tiny, small girls. It's like you guys have that complex, like you have something to prove. I don't have that complex, so I don't know how that feels. And so, my mouth is just what they would call reckless. And I don't cuss either. That's one of them things. That's just what I do. But as I changed my diet, guys, I calmed down. And so I am a firm believer that if you're eating more cleaner, if you're eating less sodium, and to be honest, fast food has a lot of sodium. Processed food has a lot of sodium. It has different sodiums than the one that we shake on our food. Case in point, like, have you noticed that fast food, you can't really taste the salt? They do something. Because if something has 2,000 milligrams of sodium, I looked up some of the burgers and stuff on these, because on the site they have to have the nutritional facts. And if you go to one of their sites, it actually tells you the sodium content. But if you bite down into it, you don't. Now, Chick-fil-A, that stuff tastes salty. I don't even know how you guys do it. We ate that back in the day then?
We did. Uh-huh.
I guess it's because we don't eat salt.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like once you get onto this end, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like once you cut out those foods and you go back, they become nasty. You can't even eat them.
Yeah, it tastes really, really salty. or you could taste really really sugary.
Yeah. What were they saying?
Oh, let's see.
Did you answer my question? Did you hear it, ma'am?
Laugh out
I'm,
loud. What if
I'm
everybody
just
had
asking. She
that?
said, "Did you answer my question? Did you hear it?"
Yeah.
What question was it?
Let me see. What was the question? I'm not sure. I have to go all the way back to find out the question.
Because I be talking.
Let's see.
Then I didn't answer it. If you didn't hear it, I didn't answer it. I don't even know what it was. What was it?
I'm still looking. Oh,
Now I'm
let's see.
asking her what was her question.
Oh. Oh, what do you eat after your workout? I think that's what it was.
What do I eat after my workout? I thought I did answer it. I said, you eat something light.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you eat light. You eat light before and you eat light after. Cause why are you exercising? You're not exercising to undo what you're doing. That's the problem. That's why I went into the spiel of people who smoke and people who eat bad food, but then gonna say you want to work out. It's like, what's your purpose? Because when we exercise, we're just circulating whatever we're doing. Like if you're eating nothing but good herbs, good food, you're circulating, you're helping your body to absorb that goodness. Because if you're just eating healthy but you're not working out, that does nothing either. You don't get the full package. And so when you're exercising, understand that whatever you're eating is going to circulate. So you want to eat something very light and nutritious because you just went through something daunting. Because exercise, especially if you are doing cardio, you're sweating, you're losing out on potassium and magnesium. You guys don't know nothing about that. All you know is sweat, right? I don't like talking over people. I've been eating healthy and exercise. I asked 2 questions. What was your second question?
Oh.
What was your second question?
Well, we only recommend things that we take.
I'm
So
sorry?
it was about a vitamin or a food, and we only recommend things that we.
Yeah, I don't recommend anything on live videos. If you're asking something that I charge for, I'm not gonna, because it's like I can't recommend anything and I don't know you. You know what I mean? This is not what we do here. So I only recommend stuff to people that are a part of the group because, I ask questions, they tell me their situation, and then I can, advise what they can take. Like if you're a diabetic, I can't tell you to take this that's going to cause your sugars to drop really fast. Or if you're not a diabetic, or if you're, you know, 300 pounds, I wouldn't suggest something to you like I would to someone who's 160 pounds, right?
Exactly. And it sounds like you have an underlying problem that she needs assistance with. hmm She has an underlying problem. So if you're interested in talking with Jenna, just tap the screen to join, right?
Yes. That's why I'm here to lend out what I do, guys. Um, it's a small investment, very affordable. Just go there and see what it's about, okay? But these, let me see. I got 2. What other subjects would you guys like me to talk about on my videos? I love taking from the audience because you guys are listening. You guys are tuning in. And so what's important to me is I do a lot of things on diabetes. I do a lot of things on feminine odor because that's been beneficial to a lot of people. But I don't want to overdo those subjects. So if you have any topics that you would like me to lightly talk about, I would love those suggestions, and you can leave them in the comments as well. Help me out. You know what I mean? I need help because I need inspiration. I really do. So I have a video on Food Junkie, and I don't want my man standing up for me. Yeah, that's a whole like little video that we, just for
Yeah.
Facebook kicks.
I,
That's what, like, if I ain't got nothing
definitely.
else to talk about, I'll do that video.
Nah.
You know, it is what it is. I'm not into all of this because look, next week could be on to something else.
It could be.
It'd be something else, and they'd be like, "What, huh? That's last week." I used to talk about hair loss, but
Oh
you
yeah,
guys don't give a darn about hair loss. Why? Because you just putting them darn lace fronts on.
yeah. That's what
They
I
don't
was
care
saying.
about hair anymore.
They don't.
I don't think people, I'm a senior cosmetologist, and when I first opened this page years ago, I was doing hair on here, and I thought that people was interested in hair. They're not interested in hair anymore. You guys don't care about hair. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can hide it. But when you have to go home and take that stuff off, you have to live with yourself. And so, just, hair is attached to your wellness. People don't understand that.
No, they don't understand how it is. How it really is attached to how you feel, and not just from an emotional standpoint.
Right. Okay, so we're going to come back in a few, okay?